So I know not everyone will want to publicly admit this, but I really do think that more people want money in their lives. And it might be crazy to assume, but I think people also would like to be millionaires as well. And before you say most millionaires came from millionaires, that's really not the case. There was a recent study showing that 79% of millionaires were actually self-taught. So that really just goes to show that anyone can become a millionaire if they actually apply themselves, especially in 2020 with all these new opportunities to make money online. So I really do believe that if anyone can adopt the traits that most millionaires follow, they can eventually turn into one. And I'm not going to talk about all these cliche habits that people recommend, like reading, getting proper sleep, dieting and eating well, but I'm going to talk about things that most people actually don't talk about. And these 5 things have actually caused my income to increase a lot. So I really do think that if you apply these things, this will bring a lot of value to you and also just help you become a better, more productive person overall. And before we begin, I'd really appreciate it if you guys could be so kind to drop a like for me. It helps me out a ton, and also it helps promote this video to other people that might benefit from it. So let's get started into the first habit that millionaires follow, and that would be to focus on the long term. And this tip is something Jeff Bezos, the man that's worth $189 billion, he's been preaching this even before he became the richest man in the world. If you see early interviews with Bezos in the 90s talking to reporters, you'll find that he relentlessly focused on the long term as far as his business strategy with Amazon. And the thing was, most reporters would look at him as if he was crazy, but we all know where Amazon is right now. Jeff Bezos' number one approach with Amazon was to give his customers the best experience possible, and he knew this was going to require a lot of short-term sacrifice because he didn't even turn a profit up until his 7th year in operation. Most eager investors did not like this strategy because they wanted to quickly turn a profit, but Bezos knew that as long as he focused endlessly on the customer, he would make money eventually, and he actually ended up becoming the richest man in the world. So ever since hearing Bezos talk about this, I've been asking, how can I apply this logic to my personal marketing business? So I then realized that if I focus on providing the most value possible to my clients, even if it means by having short-term sacrifices, it's eventually going to pay off for me in the long run. Now you can apply this to your life by reminding yourself that if you're continuing to work hard every day and focusing on becoming a better person than who you were yesterday, but you're not seeing results in this moment, just remind yourself that as long as you continue to make these positive steps in the right direction, it's going to pay off for you eventually. And that's just how the universe works. Have faith in that fact and don't get discouraged because I know it's going to pay off for you eventually. And the next millionaire mindset I have for you guys is to focus more on production rather than consumption. The mindset of focusing more on producing things in your free time rather than consuming things is something I think is incredibly important. I would find myself, when I was wrapping up my day, I would always be looking to have leisure time. I would focus on wanting to binge eat, play video games, or watch Netflix. I knew these things weren't adding any value to my life, and I just did these because they were really convenient and also they gave me that dopamine that my body was craving. So I needed to fix this, and within the last few years on my self-development journey, I found that most billionaires and most millionaires, they would focus their free time more on increasing their skill set and just building their overall value. And this doesn't have to be on things like learning investing strategies, like learning how to set up your Roth IRA, nothing like that. This could be something as simple as just playing a new instrument for the first time. So this is a simple and powerful way that you could start today that you can instantly see an increase in productivity. And I'm not saying that you should cut the things that genuinely give you joy in life, but I just think that for people like myself, there should be a better balance in place. And by implementing this concept to your head, you're going to find yourself getting so much more things done. And also by increasing your skill set, you're effectively making you more money because you're just increasing your overall value that you're bringing to the world. And the third millionaire habit that most millionaires do follow, and that's going to be making sure your day is scheduled out the night before. Adding structure to your day is going to help you so much more with staying productive and just making you more money. I know it's really easy to kind of just wake up and plan out things on the spot, but I really don't think that's what most millionaires follow. And I know that a ton of people still manage to have success in their lives by doing that, but I really do think by implementing a proper structure to your day, it's going to find you to be so much more productive on how you spend your time. So what I do to schedule out my days, I use something called Google Calendar. In Google Calendar, it allows me to stay productive because it blocks out my day by time blocks. And I tend to keep it pretty packed by whatever I have going on that day. For phone calls, working out, meetings, anything. It's just really helpful to help me stay productive. So I know people like Bill Gates and Elon Musk, some of the most successful people in the world, they literally schedule their day out by 5-minute increments. And for me, that's way too much. But at the end of the day, they are millionaires, billionaires. Like, so they might know something that we don't know. So it might be something to consider. If you're starting out, I definitely would recommend you having 5-minute increments to block out your day, but I would suggest by at least having some structure to your day, whether it be by having a dedicated time area just to focus on your work, to have another one for a side project you got going on, or also another time to just focus on being creative. I promise it's gonna help you so much just creating order in your life, and by implementing a basic schedule in your routine, it's gonna just cause you to make so much more money in the future. And that's gonna lead us to the next habit that most millionaires follow, and that's gonna be journaling. There's so many amazing benefits you get from writing whatever's on your mind down. And for me personally, I think about a lot of random business ideas. So I like to jot down whatever I'm thinking in that moment, and by putting on paper, I'm actually able to capture it. And usually what I do is if I have a few minutes and I come up with an idea, I like to think about it myself to kind of expand on that idea. But if I'm busy or I got something else going on, since I have it written down, I'll just go back to it later. Also, in my experience, by just writing things down and putting it on paper can be very therapeutic for you, because what I like to do is I like to go over things that I've written in the past 6 months or even a year, and I'll just go over them and I'll just kind of evaluate like where my mind was at that time, and also to see if my thoughts or ideas actually came to fruition. So just go to the store and get a journal. These things are like 50 cents. And also if you're more techie, you could do it on your laptop or other apps like Evernote. That's what I use. But really just making sure you do this, I guarantee you it's gonna add a lot of value to your life. And the final habit that you need to be doing in order to have a lot of success in your life is to be very mindful about who you surround yourself around. And this is a very common saying, but I really do think that it holds a lot of value for me, and it's this: you are very much the average of the 5 people that you hang around yourself the most. And for the longest time in my life, I really never did consider this. I would always hang around friends that usually drink and smoke and never really focus on like being productive to reach success. And I didn't know this during the time, but I was actually slowly morphing into them. And that's because the way you think and act is so dependent on who you surround yourself around the most. And by making the transition to hang around people that are positive and that will actually lift you up instead of bring you down, and also have like-minded goals as you, this is gonna be so important for you. And if you don't know how to connect with these people, you gotta figure out where they're hanging out. So whatever industry you're pursuing, you gotta figure out what you can do to get in front of these people so you can make connections with them. And once you get a network of really successful and driven people like yourself, you're gonna find yourself acting a lot like them. The constant discussions of success, different business ideas, or other projects people are working on, it's really gonna rub off on you, and it's almost gonna feel like it's in the air. And you may very well likely become successful as well. And those are the 5 habits that most millionaires follow. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys got any value from this video at all, please make sure to smash a like below, and also it helps share the video to other people that might want to see it too. And also, if you guys had any other powerful habits that you think millionaires follow, drop it in the comment section below so others can see it. And also, I'll reply to every comment too. And if you like this kind of content, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any other future videos. And that's going to be it for me today, guys. Thank you so much. Take care.